The International Monetary Fund has confirmed what everyone already knew, that the global economy is in a dangerous new phase. In its latest economic outlook, the IMF downgraded its forecast for global growth and in every region in the world. The numbers might be lower, but some analysts say they're not low enough, given the damage caused by the debt crisis on both sides of the Atlantic. Here's Philip Lasker.
Just like everyone else, the global lender of last resort, the IMF, is watching the slow-motion train wreck called the Eurozone.
Policymakers are one step behind the action in markets. I think we are very explicit in our messages, both in the WEO and elsewhere, in saying that Europe must get its act together.
Measures aimed at calming global markets have been undermined by German and Dutch officials, suggesting Greece might default on its debt and leave the Eurozone. The IMF says those dissonant voices and talk of the Eurozone splintering is crazy and threatens to send the Eurozone into recession.
As far as we know, the Greek government is fully committed to staying in the euro area. Its peers are its euro area peers are fully committed to preserving the integrity of the euro area.
And the IMF pointed to another undesirable side effect of the Greek crisis, where everyone is being tarred with the same brush.
There's clearly a difference between Greece and Italy, and I think that the lack of clarity on Greece and the dimension of the problem is indeed affecting the credibility when it comes to judgment on other countries.
Although not everyone sees the injustice.
There's this misconception that Europe is a rotten periphery with a solid core. For sure the periphery is rotten, but it's not at all clear how solid the core is.
The IMF has cut its global growth forecast for this year and next since its June prediction of 4.3%.
Their growth number for next year is still 4%, whereas my own colleagues' forecast within JP Morgan, we're looking at closer to 2.5%.
China and India will drive most of the growth. Stagnation is in store for the US and the Eurozone, with this year's American growth forecast cut almost in half. Australia has also been downgraded, but will grow around twice the speed of the debt-laden Northern Hemisphere economies in 2012. Well below the 4.5% the Reserve Bank has penciled in. But there's a good chance Australia may be facing recessions in Europe and the US.
There's still a bit of policy flexibility out there, and the corporate sector is still pretty resilient, and we do think policymakers eventually will get things right. But yeah, the risk of recession has gone up, and it's almost 50-50 at the moment.
One reason Australia's Reserve Bank is also hedging its interest rate bets.